What's up, guys? Today is June 22nd, 7:30 a.m. I'm coming off a 510 roughly mile night. Started 6 p.m. Like I said, 7:30 now, so 13 hours, whatever, 13 and a half hours. Last night, Trump announced they dropped some bunker buster strikes on Iranians' nuclear sites, and I can't help but to think about how this might potentially impact the trucking industry. A lot of people who are watching this channel are truck drivers. Not everyone. I'm also a motorcycle enthusiast. I'm also a car enthusiast, so there's a lot of those people too, but primarily truckers. So, when this happened last night, as I'm working, I'm listening to these kind of emergency pods, getting the information in. I can't help but to think, man, is this going to have any impacts on us, on our industry? So I guess for me, the main thing I would be looking at is economic, consumer spending. And really the way that would be impacted, the way I see it is, if it stays as is, then we're probably good. I don't think if the US does not get drawn into further conflict, then we're probably good. But if Iran decides to, strike against one of our US military bases that are within reach of Iran, we have many all throughout that area in the Middle East, then there's potential we get pulled into full-fledged conflict. And at that point, with war, who knows, man? Shit goes sideways. And I think the main thing with war is you just don't know economically how it's going to impact the country. We've seen many things that have impacted our industry. When the Russia-Ukraine conflict began, a big outcome of that was felt in our industry was fuel prices, shot way up, and there was other things in there too, but influencing that. But fuel going up, owner operators really felt it, companies felt it. When Trump administration came in, he threw on those tariffs. And Swift, for example, I know they you can see it on their social media. They've always worked with Volvo, Kenworth, Freightliners International. They announced not too long ago, and I kind of knew this before hearing from some people inside, that they're starting to work with Peterbilt, which to my knowledge, Swift never has. And the reason for that is because Pete's, to what I understand, are primarily made in America. Their parts are produced, everything is made here. So that would obviously reduce the tariff costs. And Swift proactively said, hey man, we got to try to reduce these costs that might be accrued from these tariffs. So we're going to work with an American-based company to try to reduce the tariff expenses. And another thing we saw was the dock workers, the union dock workers. When they went on strike, it impacted the supply chain. These are all things that I look at, being a 3.5-year driver now. This is my career. This is how I get my bread. This is how I provide. So, when these types of things happen outside of our industry, of course, I'm looking at it like, will this have an impact on what we do? And like I said, I think the main thing would be economic, but I'm real curious to hear what other people are thinking about it. This isn't whether you agree, disagree, political. This isn't that. I'm just really thinking about our industry, and if at all, what we're seeing here, if it goes beyond just those strikes last night, we get drawn into more and more and more. And, that probably will have some type of consequences within our country, effects on day-to-day operations. So yeah, drop comments. I'm always interested in having some open dialogue, whatever people's opinions are on it, whatever people have to say. So I'm real curious to see what people are thinking about it. Chances are probably nothing, right? we just go about our days as normal. But is the potential there for something to go sideways? Yeah, I think it is. But just, just some initial thoughts on it. Not too much, not too deep on it, really. Obviously, I'm just a truck driver, but I can't help but to think about these things. So, yeah, everyone stay safe on the road, man. Be safe out there, with your people, with your family. Be safe, be diligent with everything, of course. Just stay safe. So, yeah, drop a like, subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. Peace.